She had planted that seed. I want to say happy anniversary to Doc and Francis for being here today. And don't ask how long. They're timeless and ageless. So from the foundation of the world. We're in agreement. It's a beautiful day. Can you imagine just not that far away? There's like blizzards and I mean it's unbelievable. Virginia's not that far away. Now, not Dairy Queen blizzards. Although there is one. There is a Dairy Queen on North Avenue that, as the crow flies, would be. I should have never entered the idea of food to all of you. What could we go pick up that wouldn't be sugary? And what could somebody go get? Yeah, but the peanut and peanut M&M sort of balances it out. All right, we'll fast. We'll fast for world peace. Would you like us to get started, Chelsea, so you could do your thing? We're in agreement for a beautiful day. Danny, good to see you. Please hit that and remain standing, and we will get officially started. The month of March.
Good morning.
2018.
Metron is measure or sphere of influence, and we want to help you find your metron through motivation, enlightenment, transcendence, renewal, outreach, and networking. Today is your day to find your metron, and we hope you enjoy the service.
Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Metron. Glad that you're here. Come in, come in, come in. Those of you who are logging on via YouTube, wherever you are in the universe, we welcome you as well. We love our streamers, and just feel like we could see. You remember Romper Room when she would hold that thing up and she would say, "I see." I mean, one time I was babysitting my cousins Dana and Deanna, and she held it up. We were watching Romper Room, and she held it up. She said, "I see Dana and Deanna." And we all went, "What?" She could actually see it. I mean, it really kind of wigged us out. But anyway, we see you, YouTube people. Nice pajamas. I like that coffee mug. I'm always happy to have our artist that we have this month, and she's so busy these days. It's not necessarily easy to get. In fact, one of the Sundays this month she's going to be gone. But I said, you know what? I'd really like to have you ASAP. And I liked from the first note she sang. I thought, oh, I like her. I like the way she plays. I like her attitude. I like the way she. Much of what I say, hey you guys, much of what I say about Marshall, I say the same thing for her. She really interprets a song. She doesn't cover it. She interprets it. And when someone interprets someone else's work, they hold the diamond up and the light hits another facet, and you hear the song in a way, you think, oh, wow, I hadn't thought of the song that way. And she's very adept at doing that. And so I said, no, come on for March, and we'll figure out the one Sunday that you're not going to be here. But she is here this day, so if I will stop talking, she'll have more time to sing. Would you please welcome our friend and sister, Chelsea Shack.
Hi, beautiful people. Hey, kid. I like that you're right in my face. I like it. If you want to take a seat, that's cool. Unless you really want to move your hips. This one is a hip swinger. This one's a song I wrote called Decay Big Talker. I've made up my mind. I'm leaving this time. There's no way I can stay in this place. It's nice here, I like it, but it always seems to be the people who bring me down. Well, baby, when it's over and done, When it's over, I will just laugh. My baby told me something, made my little mind go bored. Tell me a secret nobody will know. Well, baby, that's the way things should be. No media involved with me. Now, baby, tell me a story. Hey. I've made up my mind, babies. Ain't nobody gonna put me down this time. I ain't gonna live just because of a fool. I decided that you're just a grain of sand, incapable to understand. Now, baby, just pour away as we start a new fine day. Baby, a little thoughts of decay, decay, big talker, decay. Thank you. I'm always curious to what Mary puts behind me, you know. Like, oh, that's me. What's up, girl? So goofy. Oh my God, I'm so goofy. This next song is a cover. It's by a band called Hiatus Coyote. They're from Australia. And this lead singer, Napalm, she wrote this song about her best friend. So it's like a love song for her best friend. And it goes like this. And now, my darling, I will follow you into the sunrise on the desert sky. We fly, rise together with our hearts upon our sleeve for all to see. We too well agree. Aqua queen, no vast distance between us. High say we love for you. I love you, I love you, I do. Love you, I love you, I love you, I do. Nakamura, sweet red earth will hold you like the strength you bless to me. True humility. Watch me struggle with your words, however truth, for they may be. Well, seeing time, opening our hearts and nurturing our mind to shine. I love you, I love you, I love you, I do. I love you, I love you, I love you, I do. And it sets our heart to fire, sweet you and I. Honey, don't you know that it sets our heart to fire, sweet you and I. Honey, don't you know we two will pose in love through this light? And honey, don't you know that we two will pose? I always love you, yeah, 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 yeah. Love you, yeah, 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 yeah. Love you, I do. I love you, yeah, 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 yeah. Love you, yeah, 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 yeah. Love you, I do. And now, my darling, I will follow you into the sunrise on the desert sky. We fly, rise together with our hearts upon I see for all to see. We too well grave. I got queen of assets between us. I say we love for you. I love you. I love you. I do. I love you. I love you. I love you. I do. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Cool. This next one is a new one I wrote. It's called Funk Love. It's coming on my EP coming out in March. I'm really excited to release some new music. This one's all about just feeling the high of love. So it goes like this. All this light I see, can't take it away from me. And this feel of ecstasy, it's bringing out the best in me. And I know you're the only one. And I know I feel it brighter than the sun. And I know, baby, I'm your only one. And I know it's my heart that you want. Say it ain't you saw, you won't let my heart go. Throw it away and leave me on my own. Say it ain't so, you won't let my heart go. Because this feeling so right with me. And I knew, got me stuck inside a dream, yeah. Feel sensuality, and it's love inside of me, yeah. It's bursting out the seams, and I know you're the only one. And I know I feel it brighter than the sun. And I know, baby, I'm your only one. And I know it's my heart that you want. Say it ain't so, you won't let my heart go. Throw it away and leave me on my own. Say it ain't so, you won't let my heart go. Because it's feeling so right with me, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. You got nothing to lose. I got love for you. I'll always be your baby. Come on for here and take me. You got nothing to lose. I got love for you. I'll always be your baby. Come on for here and take me. You got nothing to lose. I got love for you. Always be your baby. Come over here and take me. Got nothing to lose. Got love for you. I'll always be your baby. Come over here and take me. Baby, I wanna ride with ya. Baby, I'll live the life with ya. Baby, I'm rather die with ya. Baby, I wanna fly with ya. No, oh, 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 with ya, oh, 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 with ya, oh, 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 no, oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. You're all beautiful. Have a great service.
Wait. What was that? You did was a Michael Jackson or a Prince cover you did one time that I really, really liked. But you don't have to sing it. It would just make me really happy. Yeah.
I'll play one more song. If that's cool. Okay, okay. close your eyes. Let that rhythm get into you. Don't try to fight it. There ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind. Lay back and groove with mine. You got to feel that heat, and we gonna ride the boogie. Share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance until sunlight. I wanna rock with you all night. We gonna rock the night away. Oh, on the floor, there is nobody there but us. And girl, when we dance, there's some magic. There must be love. Just take it slow, 'cause we got so far to go. When we feel that beat, and we gonna ride the boogie. Share that heat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance until the sunlight. I wanna rock with you all night. We gonna rock the night away. And when that groove is dead and gone, yeah, you know the Lord survive, so we can ride forever. No, 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 no. Yeah. Little key change, baby. Here we go. I wanna rock with you. I wanna rock with you, rock with you. Yeah. Dance until the sunlight. I wanna rock with you all night. We gonna rock the night away. I want to rock your body. I wanna, but you know, don't be so quick to walk away. I wanna rock your body, please stay. You don't have to admit you wanna play. Just let me rock you to the break of day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll be back
Chelsea
next
Jack.
Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff. Last week, Judah had us in here worshiping with our hands up. This week is I Wanna Rock With You. It's called versatility. Yes, Chelsea's part of the Atlanta Music Festival that Judah's producing. That's on April 28th, I believe. So thank you for the reminder. Thanks. Yeah, it's good. And you all may be seated. Thank you. With my magic candle. Look how enlightened I am. It doesn't even hurt. That's called next level. Hey, stay up here, Wellington. If you got those pictures, Michelle, I wanted to show you. You know, I told you that Wellington's cousin was inaugurated as he's the president of Liberia. He's your first cousin, I believe, George Weah. And some of these may be a little grainy. What are we looking at, Wellington? Is that him right there? He was a big. They call it football there. But he's a big football star, and it's unusual for a young man to win the election like this. Is that him and his wife? Oh, that's the vice president. I thought that guy looked a little older. Okay. Okay. What else we got? Show me. That's him, right? He's being inaugurated. It's like a zillion people there. Sorry, these are a little grainy, but when they're blown up, that's a little clear. That's him being inaugurated. And now that's him and his wife, right? Yeah. Beautiful. How old is he? 51. Beautiful. Is that what stadium is that? Is that the city that you're from? Okay. And this was actually several weeks ago, and I kept forgetting to show you. I wanted to show you the pictures because I think it's very interesting. Well, I knew that, but I felt like if I said it, I felt like I would just become too unrelatable. It'd be like, does he know everything? And wow. Well, that was all of them, right? Well, anyway, congratulations again to your family. Well, that's awesome. It is March. I'll get into this in just a moment, but one reason I want to do mostly meditation, certainly today, maybe for the whole month, is I've had a lot of requests from the podcast audience and from the YouTube audience to do something that's exclusively, so that somebody has a meditation tape they can put on and use it for an extended period of time. So we got some new music from Australia. We could go really, really long. We could go 6 full hours. We're not going to go that long, but we are going to. But I'll tell you more about that. I do want to tell you about our outreach this month. Is something I think is really cool. It's called Operation Smile, and you know what cleft palate is. The way I know you all know this, but the way an embryo's head forms, for some reason, it forms like in a circular motion, and sometimes the last part of your body, your head to form, is like right here. That's why you'll notice. It's a politically incorrect term. They used to call it the word hair lip, and it's like River Phoenix has it. Dermot Mulroney has some actors. They have just like a little scar where it didn't suture up, and that's fine. But some of these kids, especially in third world nations, I mean, they just have no quality of life at all. And what's amazing, I don't know if they've got some of the pictures are a little disturbing, but they, I mean, it's like just $250. This guy does this surgery that fixes it, and I love stuff like this. I'm just a little bored with evangelists going in and making everybody pray the sinner's prayer over and over again. I would rather say, what are some things you're really doing? Because you got a baby with an open head, you got a situation. You need somebody not just sending prayers. You need somebody what can you do? And apparently this guy perfected this. I can't even imagine how they do it, but they perfected this relatively easy surgery, and they showed. I won't show on you the big screen because it's unsettling when you see some of these babies. But when you see these before and after, it's extraordinary what they're able to do. I don't even know how they do it, but so that's what we're giving to. With what we'll give this month easily, we can do 2 surgeries for sure, and so that's anyway. That was good. If you're on time, you might want to Google it. It's a little easier to see on a smaller screen, but. So that's what we're going to do. I love doing these charities for children. That's always makes me feel happy. I don't have a event planned for this month, but the big event is coming up a month from yesterday, which is I've got to start saying this, with 60th birthday. I know Margot. She had hers this week. I wanted to ask her, did it hurt? What's it like? At least I got the date right. I only have 2 grandchildren. You'd think I would know when their birthday is. What's the youngest one's name? Olivia. Her birthday is March 2nd. For some reason, I was thinking it was March 1st, and I posted pictures on March 1st. So I picked her up Friday. I said, "Did you have a good birthday?" She said, "Well, it's today." I said, "Oh, well. Okay, then, let's go to Target." You'd think I would have known that. Yeah, we had a good time. We had Addie with my granddaughter, so that was fun yesterday. But anyway, thank you for those of you who have let me know that you're coming. I've got a lot to do, and I got to get a plan for how to do it. And we will. I have a month. I have a month to lose 25 pounds. That's the weight I wanted to be on my 60th birthday, which would mean we're going to need a miracle this month. So anyway, that's going to be on April 3rd at the Monaco Studio at Paris-en-Pence. Most of you are familiar with that, and there will be valet parking. And glad to see. Are you in between performances, Sean? Are y'all still on the road with the? Huh? Where are you going next? Do you even know? Okay, but you're still doing the play though. Okay. I love that. In other words, that's show business. Well, that's what made me think of it, because I was hoping you'd be here for my birthday, and then when you told me you were hitting with this play, I thought, oh well, she'll be. That's what I thought. He couldn't get me out of bed in the morning. I was in a fetal position. I said, I'm not doing my birthday if Chandra can't be there. Actually, it's not that far off from the truth. Okay, well, that's good. So thank you for that. Doesn't cost anything. And I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. And I know a couple of you have asked about prints. I wasn't planning on doing any more prints, but we'll, if it's something that we have on file, which we do, we can figure that out. And I got to figure out where to put stuff. I have a storage space that I've never used at my place, and let me just say we need it. And he got all the stuff out of his dad's house and brought it. And you know, when you live in a small space, you've already expend. You know, you've used about all the creative measures you can to put, like, it's like a puzzle. You know, this has to go there, this has to go there, whatever. Then he brought a carload of stuff. So I went and found my deed. I said, there's supposed to be a storage space that comes with it. Somebody else is using it. And they said, do you want them out? I said, you're going to have to. So I said, I don't want bad blood with somebody, but I got to have some storage space. That's why I told Avery, I said, if anybody asks what I want for my birthday, I said, before the sentence is over, say money. Like, what is it? Just say money. Because I have no more surfaces. I have no extra space to put anything anywhere, including the art that may not sell on April 3rd. So I got to figure out where I'm going to put that. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. One day. This week's been a trip again. And let me just say this. You know how I used to say when you teach something, you get tested in it? Well, what I've taught you about creating your day, I haven't just been tested in it. It was forced down my throat. And it held me up. So you know how in Psalms it says Joseph was tormented by the word of the Lord? I got you. So I was dealing with some drama this week, and I still have not figured out how my radio works. It's like you hit source, and it goes to this. It's like it plays AM, FM, then Sirius, then whatever CD you have in there. And I've given up on trying to figure out. I just hit buttons until something. This week, it must be like a Spanish gospel station was singing One Day at a Time in Spanish. And I could tell what they were singing. And I just kind of listened to it. Jesus. So I just, that was my little Spanish lesson. It was absurd and therapeutic at the same time. Can you find me a recording of One Day at a Time in Spanish to play that? It was oddly cathartic. Okay. Keep doing the year of Pay It Forward. Thank you for being faithful to do that. And I think that is everything. Are we ready to get officially started? Okay. Welcome those of you that are just now logging on to our podcast, coming to you live from Metron in beautiful and historic Midtown Atlanta. This month, I'm not technically doing a teaching series per se. I am going to talk a little bit about meditation, but I've had many requests from the podcast audience and the YouTube audience to devote an entire time to meditation so that people can participate with it. And I feel like a few months ago when I taught them meditation and we started, I think we really started something that was very important and powerful, and then we kind of got away from it. And I'd like to, the good news about enlightenment is you can always get back to where you were, and it's just simply the decision. Everything's just a decision. Being happy is a decision. It's like it just is. And it doesn't mean you feel it immediately. It just means that you decide, and the feelings eventually catch up. I don't want to trivialize sickness, but getting well is pretty much a decision. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to doctors. I'm not saying not take your medicine. I'm saying there has to be this decision where you say, I'm just not going to be sick anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it begins with that. That's why when I visit someone in the hospital who is sick, I usually ask them, what exactly do you want? Because a lot of what we do in prayer, and charismatics were notorious for this, is very presumptive. It's, you're presuming you know what's right for the person. I don't assume everybody wants to live. I mean, I've gone to visit some people, I'm sure you have, Doc, and I will ask them, do you want to live? Are you ready to cross over? Do you want to fight or whatever? Because if it's not in them, you kind of create some weird mojo, because sometimes they're ready to go to the other side and you're pulling on them, and it's very important to find out exactly what are we agreeing for. And as I've told you before, I don't even know that there's such a thing as a prayer of agreement. I think that's nearly a Christian urban legend. I think agreement is more, it's a conversation you have. It's having somebody in your life that says, I agree with you for that. Let's see how we can facilitate that. And so I think that's and I can tell you this, and Jackie, I went to sleep last night listening on some of the Four Agreements again, and so much of it is about even things I've taught on, that you have to release some of your previous agreements that you've made. Like when somebody tells you something terrible about yourself and you agree with it, their reality has now become your reality. And so sometimes you have to, officially disconnect from a previous agreement and say, I don't agree with that anymore, I agree with this. I actually had thought about this month doing a series on the phrase, you have heard it said. I've taught on it a lot out of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. But that's such a powerful concept where he locates what they have heard. He recognizes, you've heard Moses say this. You've heard the prophets say this. You've heard the priest in the temple say this. But I say. Now that seems very benign, but when he says, but I say, he's saying, I'm introducing an entirely new concept to you that is not what you've heard previously. You have heard your mother say, you have heard your father say, you have heard this, you have heard that, but I say. Basically, everything we believe in a ministry like this is based on what is being said now. And we all respect what we have heard said. Even honoring Billy Graham this week, it really brought up a lot of things. And I believe honor where honor is due. I think it's awesome how, they treated him and had his body and stayed at I think all that was appropriate. It also brings a lot of things up for me that are irrelevant now. And it makes me have to examine them, say, I appreciate my background, but wow, I'm not that anymore. And some people are very insulted by that. They're like, you've left the good way. No, I've heard it said, but now I hear what he says and what is being said in me. And That's scary for a lot of people. People are very addicted to what they heard said. Olivia was asking me this week, because of course I'm taking pictures of her, and she asked me again. She said, "Why do you take so many pictures?" I said, "You can't realize this at 8 years old, but every time I see you, like you're taller than you were last week." And I said, "You don't have any concept how fast life is moving for somebody like me. So I just want to freeze frame it. I'm not trying to be intrusive on you. I just want to remember you, because when I see you next week, you won't look quite like this." So I'm trying to capture these moments, and I'm saying that to say, sometimes you haven't seen somebody in a while, and you have to update your files on them, because in your head they still look like what you remember. You have heard it said. But then you see them and you think, "Oh, well, I really need to rethink them." We had Addie all day yesterday, and when we've been with her parents, she's, I don't want to say the word hyper, but she's at that age. And apparently Kim was like this when he was a baby. None of his aunts wanted to keep him. But it takes an adult full-time following her every minute. Well, she was with us yesterday, and she was a pleasure. She was a pleasure. She was a pleasure at my parents' house. She played well with the dogs. She didn't stress my mom out. I mean, my mom could easily get stressed out by children, including me. Hey, Mom, I'll hear about that one later. But it was great, and I thought, wow, you in your head, because we had said, "Whew, it's gonna be a long day Saturday," but it wasn't. It was fine. She'd never been to a movie before. We took her to a movie. She sat there the whole time and loved it. So we had to update our files. It's like, well, no, she's pleasant when she's just with us. That's the secret. But it's what they used to call giving the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, I'm talking already more than I meant to talk. I just want to show you 3 things quickly, and then I want to explain to you. I think most of you have meditated with us, so this probably isn't a big transition for you. If you have not meditated with us, I invite you to please stay and participate. If you don't want to participate, at least stay. You don't have to do anything. But I really think you'll enjoy it, and it will benefit you. The first thing I want to share with you, and I taught on it before when we meditated the first time, is out of Psalm 4, and it's just this one phrase in chapter 4, verse 4. And this is in the New King James. He says, "Meditate within your heart on your bed and be still." And then he uses the word Selah. Selah, S-E-L-A-H, very interesting word. It's used 74 times in the Bible, 71 of which are in the Psalms. And it's one of those sort of mystical words that there's not a clear-cut definition of it. If you look in the Amplified Bible, when it says Selah, it will say, "Pause and calmly think of that." And so most scholars believe, because the Psalms were all songs. Psalm means songs. So when you quote the 23rd Psalm, you're quoting the lyrics to a song that David wrote. David was an artist. And so the Selah, probably, every time they see Selah, it's usually with one of the Psalms that begins, it'll say something like, "To the chief musician." A lot of times these songs that David wrote would be dedicated to an individual. And within that is this Selah. And what it means, what most scholars believe, and this resonates with me, is that when a lyric in the song says something, then you have meditation time. It's like the music plays, and then you think about what was just said. I think if you don't meditate a truth, have you ever, even sometimes you'll be here and I'll say something, or another minister will say something, and you're like, "Oh, that was so good," and then you walk out and you say, "That was so good what he said, but what was it? I don't remember. It was something, whatever it was really, really good. What was it? I don't know." And sometimes you can't even capture it with notes. It comes with meditation. Meditation, for me, is that moment when the seed impregnates you. And one of the definitions of meditation is literally to roll it around. It means that it's inside you, and you think of it from every possible angle. A lot of times, people use Selah as an exclamation point or an amen. Like I said, it's Selah, and it kind of means that, but there's actually a more meditative inference to it. It means to be still, play the music. I was watching Jeff. We've talked about that Gaia, that network. They posted something this week that showed somebody's brain listening to music, and you can see the changes that happen when somebody's listening to music. That's why even today, we're not in here worshiping, but just when she would play the music and she's playing skillfully, it positively affects your brain chemistry. Music does something that is indefinable, and you all know that. I don't have to convince you of that. But the idea is, think about what the lyric just said and hear it to music, which is why we meditate with music. David, especially in his early years, was clearly a mystic. Now, as he got older and became king of Israel, and he's had a lot of issues. You could see him as he got away from that mystical part of him. He really paid some consequences. But the early David, you think about lines like, he makes me lie down in green pastures. That's a very meditative idea. That's somebody who's very pastoral in the sense of they're close to nature. You remember when, was it Solomon that came to anoint the new king of Israel, and he went through all of Jesse's sons and couldn't find, it was kind of like the Prince Charming trying to find the slipper for Cinderella. And he said, it's not him, it's not him. He goes through all of them. They said, well, we've got one that's out watching sheep. It couldn't possibly be him. And sure enough, he said it was him. But David, at that point, he wasn't hanging out in temples. He was not just a country boy. He was an outdoorsman in the meditative sense. There's some people when they go out in the woods, they're wanting to kill a deer. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that's a different intent. There's other people who they want to get close to nature because of the meditative aspect of it. I did it just a week before last when we went to Myrtle Beach. The water was very cold. It was really too cold to get in at all. But we were riding bikes, and I said, I've just got to put my feet in it for a little bit. I'm making this up in my head, but it feels to me like I'm recalibrating my body clock. And so I just stood in there, and finally I yelled at him. I said, get your feet in this water. And so he did. And we just stood there for a minute, and there's something about getting back in sync with the rhythm of the earth and the tidal pull and all that. I know that sounds really 60s and metaphysical, but it feels very real to me. It felt very cathartic. It's like, wow, I love the city. I'm always going to be a city boy, but it's good to get barefoot and walk on a beach and put your feet in the water. I don't want to live away from nature. And even in the city, I'm always in the park. I live next to Centennial Park. I'm always when it gets warm enough, I want to smell some grass. I want to look at a flower. I want to. The last few days, these beautiful spring colors are out, and I always remember when Shug says to Selah, I think it pisses God off when you walk through the field of the color purple and don't notice it. And that's the whole point of that work being titled The Color Purple. It means notice your life. Maybe God is trying to tell you something, and it's not just coming through a preacher. It's coming through noticing. It may be the color purple in this field. It may be just listening to somebody's voice. It means your life matters. What you think matters. What you feel matters. What you say matters. So that's the first thing. The second one, I just liked this quote. It doesn't use the word meditation, but I was reading some things about meditation, and this Alan Cohen says this. This just seems true to me. It says, if you want to find God, hang out in the space between your thoughts. Which is really what meditation is. Meditation isn't sitting there trying to necessarily visualize something. It really means clear your mind. And that's, honestly, I think, even if you have traditional ideas about prayer, at least balance your prayer with some meditation. Because if it's just you talking all the time, you are not hearing. I find this is something I've had to live with my whole life. When you are known as a talker, you know, your job is talking. People get real antsy when you're not talkative. You know, why aren't you talking? Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you talking? Well, sometimes I don't want to talk, and it doesn't mean it's anything bad. It just means I've talked enough. I need to be quiet for a minute. I don't think it's depression. I don't think it's, it's just I need to be quiet. I've said enough right now. And there's also some, if I may be candid, there are some emotional things you go through that you think, it's probably better for me not to talk right now, because anything I say, I'm going to end up snaring myself, because you probably don't want to hear what's abundantly in my heart. And it will pass, and I'll get to where I need to be. But the truth is in between your thoughts. As I told you before, when Jesus would disappear on the mountain or he'd be gone all night, I don't picture him praying. I just can't picture Jesus like, in the name of me, I just don't picture, you know what I mean? I was taught, we prayed. The Pentecostals prayed. The Charismatics prayed. It was like it was driving. I picture Jesus being contemplative. You make me lie down in green pastures. You lead me beside the still waters. That's what it was, him recharging his battery. Let me tell you something. Vacations aren't about sightseeing. They're about you recharging your battery. This is doctor's order. Sometimes you need to change your line of vision. You need to look at something different so that you think differently and go somewhere that's going to be good for your soul. If other people don't like it where you like to go, then go by yourself. Like I've told you before, New York is cathartic to me. Not for extended periods of time, but a little bit. I like the energy of it. I like all, and there inevitably will be somebody who says, "Are there a lot of people?" Yeah, it's a very densely populated city, but the traffic, it's terrible. Why do you go? Aren't there so many people at Christmas time? Yeah, it's crazy. What's your point? If you don't want to go, that's fine. And there's always somebody even said it to me last time we went, you couldn't pay me to go. I said, nobody's writing you a check. So, congratulations. Nobody's trying to pay you. Oh, would you please go to New York with me and complain every step of the way? And then the third thing I want to show you is I like this. This guy, Amit Ray, writes a lot about meditation. And I like this. It says, suffering is due to our disconnection with the inner soul. Meditation is establishing that connection. What that means is for the most part, the answer really is in you. I mean, it really is. The term educate means to draw out. You know this with your life coaching. You try to get them to see what's already in them. That's how you facilitate them. And it takes somebody to help you get outside yourself to see what's already in you. But the answer really, that's not some new age cliche. The answer really is in you. I remember back when I did a lot of counseling, sometimes by the time somebody would come to me, their situation was so complicated, it was like a kid bringing you shoelaces that had 14 knots in them, and you just like, I'm just gonna have to cut this out. This is you should have brought this to me 11 knots ago. And sometimes when I just did not have an answer, I would say, all right, if Jesus was sitting behind this desk, what do you think he would tell you? And they would sit there and counsel themselves. Well, I think he would tell me I need to forgive my mother. Okay, keep going. And I need to stop being a victim. Okay. And, they would, and then they'd be surprised, like, I didn't know I knew that. We have all these levels in us. And the answer's down there, but it gets covered by emotion and distraction, and your soul and your spirit need nourishment just like your body does. Your body has to be fed every day. And a garden, I don't care how beautiful a garden is. I guarantee you everything y'all did in your Zen garden last year, you're probably back to square one nearly. It's like you started again. It's called tending a garden. And I could make that metaphor. Your heart is a garden. It has to be weeded out. When Jesus gave the parable in Mark 4, he says, if you can understand this parable, you'll understand all of them. And he said, the sower sows the word. But he talked about the quality of the soil. He basically said the word's the same for everybody, but it's whatever you produce it's a matter of it. Your response to the word is your soil. It's not the quality of the seed. And remember we talked about thorns and thistles, that he said there was some seed that fell by the wayside, and it says the cares of this life and the deceitfulness of riches choked out the word. You already know the truth. You know what's really aggravating is when you teach the truth and you have the revelation. Can I let you into a little trade secret? Just because you have a gift to teach it, don't mean you have a gift to live it. It means you got to work it out like everybody else. And sometimes it's extremely frustrating when somebody wants to remind you of something you've already taught. You're like, yeah, I know that. Please don't remind me that I said that. I'm wrestling with it my own self. And if you say it again, I'm going to have to slap you. That does not come from my significant other, by the way. He is a walking, calming effect. I'm sometimes not even sure he's human. He may be angelic. I keep looking for feathers. Are there feathers around here somewhere? What did Judah say the other day? They were talking about something. Judah said, well, as far as we're concerned, Ken has a painting in St. Patrick's Cathedral. Like he's like a saint. I was like, oh, Lord. And I didn't argue. But sometimes you have to be quiet to find, how do I mine out of myself, right? The mystical side of David. What did he do? Encouraged himself in the Lord. Many times because there was nobody else. I mean, David's lifestyle kind of painted him into a corner. I mean, he was full of himself. He did have a huge ego. He was outspoken. A lot of people didn't know what to make of him. And then he'd find himself in a situation where, I mean, you could see, why are you cast down on my soul? And why are you disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him. Like he knew how, even bless the Lord, O my soul. That's what's the word? Mantra. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that's within me. Bless his holy name. That's speaking to your soul. Come on, soul. Come on, soul. You know how to do this. You're not looking at this right. You're not looking at this right. You've got to see this right. And sometimes most times you can't pray that in. You have to meditate it in to remove the stuff. what is it in Isaiah 60 where he says, every valley will be exalted, every mountain will be brought low, the crooked places will be made straight. And he talks about, he says, go through and prepare a highway for God. He literally talks about, like, the imagery is like taking a machete and cutting through the underbrush so that the truth can emerge. What's going to happen here in the next few moments is you're going to find out that you have the answer more than you even realized. And I talked long enough to make sure I got everybody in. So let's not let anybody else in. If we can go ahead and bring the lights down. And I think most of you have done this with us, but just do it with us. You'll just do it. You need both feet on the floor. You need to empty your lap. Is that the long one? Oh. Well, let me hear it now. I want to hear it. I thought that didn't sound meditative. That's it. Hallelujah. Okay. When I heard that papa, I thought, that's the meditation music I just bought? All right, back to where we were. Posture is real important. Sitting up straight, facing forward. I even think it's better if you can just have your hands free, unless you want to do if you want to do a mudra. It's not some weird Hindu thing. It's just it's energy point. It just helps you focus if you're comfortable doing that. The breathing in of your nose and out of your mouth is about nitric oxide, not nitric acid, as a nitric oxide, and it's proven to relax the muscles. This, even those of you that work out, when you breathe in through your nose, breathe out of your mouth, it automatically, even if you don't have time to do a full-on meditation, just a little breathing exercise can bring you some clarity. Nobody's going to be taking your picture during this, so don't be self-conscious. We're going to start the music. And I don't know how long we're going to go. We're just going to go until I feel like it's time to stop. But you need this, I need this, we need this. Don't stress about your thoughts. Don't think, oh, I can't settle them down. Yeah, you can. They're just, you're the shepherd of your thoughts. So if they want to stray a little bit, you just bring them back. Don't be afraid if you doze off. It's not, if you do doze off, it's not the worst thing in the world. But the main thing is we're going to focus on breathing. Scripture uses breath and spirit interchangeably. Inhale deeply through your nose, if you can. Exhale through your mouth. If you can't do it that way, then at least do it in a consistent way. Mostly meditation is about breath, getting yourself into a relaxed state where you can find your own answers. Breathe in, hold it. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Don't just exhale through your mouth. Exhale through your fingertips, through the top of your head, out of the pores of your skin. Exhale the stress out. Exhale oppression and depression, whatever weird emotions you've dealt with recently. Just exhale them out. Just expel them. Peace is in you. We're going to Meditate down to the peace. Where's the peace? Find God in between our thoughts. Keep breathing. There's really no wrong way to do this. So just do what's organic to you. But sitting up straight and breathing consistently is just helpful to you. The kingdom of God is not rules and regulations. It's not religion. It's righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Ghost. All that is in you. Just feel your spirit calming down. Feel your mind coming into a state of peace. Feel your body trying to heal itself. Removing the distractions, get you into a place that your body finds its self-healing mechanisms. You were created to be well. You're created to be whole. Get in touch with that wholeness. Created to be at peace. You're created to be happy. Meditate below the scar tissue. Get under the scars and find the healing place. Place of wholeness. Place of wellness. Stress is leaving your bones. Toxicity is leaving your internal organs. He makes you lie down in green pastures. He leads you beside still waters for his name's sake. Even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you fear no evil. In between your thoughts is the peace of God. In between your thoughts is consciousness. In between your thoughts is light. In between your thoughts is your oneness with the universe. Connect with God, connect with Source, connect with peace. breath moves you closer to that place of peace. With every breath, you move closer to serenity. Your nervous system, your circulatory system, your respiratory system, all of your physical systems are being cleansed with peace. Peace is in your breath, peace is in your bloodstream, peace is in your muscles, peace is in your bones, it's in your skull, peace is behind your eyes, peace is in your inner ear. Going to say this for some of you that have experienced a sexual violation. Peace is in your private parts. Let peace cleanse you in that area of negative vibration that somebody imposed on you that you still carry in those vulnerable places in your body. You're being freed from victimization. Being freed from negative vibrations that came from people's words. Words that were spoken against you. Words that you agreed with. Your inner child is releasing agreements that he or she made with authority figures. You will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. There's peace in the palms of your hands. Peace in the soles of your feet. There's peace in your spinal column and your flexors. The stress that you hold in your muscles in your body. Peace flow through you right now. Scripture says your very bones will vibrate with health. I speak a vibration of health into your bones, into your skeleton, into your musculature, into your skin, into your hair, into your fingernails. Peace. Peace into your physical heart, into your lungs, into your kidneys, your spleen, your pancreas. Peace to emotions that are trapped in your body that have become pain or become sickness, pathogens. Kingdom Key unlocks those emotions. Meditate yourself back even beyond being born or being prenatal. Meditate yourself back to where you were in God before you got here. Your brain may not know how to do that, but your spirit knows where that is. David called it the secret place of the Most High. Meditate yourself back to eternity, back to infinity. Meditate yourself to a place where you are bigger than negative things. You're bigger than trivia that distracts you, that weighs you down. Meditate yourself toward the light. Let there be light. Let there be light. Let it be. Let there be light. Let your being be flooded with light. Light. Let there be light in your spirit, in your soul, in your body, in your memories, in your emotions, in your dreams. The light shines in darkness, and the darkness cannot overtake it. Healing light. Healing light. Healing light flowing all through your body. Keep breathing. Scripture says, be still and know that I'm God. Not be still and think about God, but be still and know. There's a knowledge of God you can't get from a sermon or from the Bible or from anywhere else. It's in you. Be still and know that place, that God place in you, that divine place in you. Let us create people in our image and let them be still and know who they are and what they are. If you can receive this, meditate yourself up above your body. Just hear me spiritually. Come up above your body and up to a higher frequency. You're not dying, but it's the way some people are when they cross over. They come out of their body and they can see, they can look down at the room. Meditate yourself to that place where you just come out of your shell for a minute. Let your spirit stretch. Just dance in the light for a minute. Out of the restraints of whatever age body that you're in. Just come out of come out of that space. Dance in the light, dance in creation. In the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was willed action. In the beginning was light. Out of it in just a moment, but just enjoy a few more moments of it. We've got plenty of time. I like this music. It's just really easy and just sort of let you float a little bit. It's good. Breathing. Charles, just keep the music going, but let's gradually come out of it. If you need to clear your throat or whatever you need to do. If you need to wiggle a little bit. Do you know how long we did that? Do you have any idea? Can't tell. I don't have any way to prove this, but it feels like when you're in that environment, there's cell restoration. Doesn't that seem right to you? I feel like it allows your cells to recreate. If that's impossible, don't tell me, because it feels like that's what it feels like to me. Even the releasing of cell memory that sometimes holds disease and that sort of thing. Just let it play for a minute more. We're not specifically meditating right now, but it's a sacred moment. Let's just hold on to it before you get back in the fray. Climb up on this rock and get your breath. Good, wasn't it? Isn't it interesting that Jesus says legacy's peace? peace I leave with you. Of all the things he could have said, not you'll go to heaven when you die. It's like, peace I'll leave with you. Not, and then he says, not as the world gives, let not your heart be troubled. Meaning, it's there, but you have to remove the trouble, and then you find the peace. Let's just stand up and stretch a minute. Just keep it playing, Charles. You can even turn it up just a little bit. Y'all can bring the lights back up. I like the music. It's got me very relaxed. I like your slides, Michelle. That's good. That's where the peace is. Up out of here. Tell me something, Doc. Tell me something about peace.
There's a peace in you that surpasses understanding. So beyond understanding, it's peace. As long as you keep trying to understand it, that's what it means. Don't let your heart be troubled. There's a peace beyond that understanding, and because usually understanding is us trying to figure it out, which is more and more confusion. Be still, be quiet, and then you'll know. But you'll never know till you be still. And you'll never be still till you be quiet. So it's 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. And then you'll know. Not believe, know. There's a dimension beyond believing. It's called knowing. And that's peace. Not figuring it out, you just know.
You can't try to know.
No.
You just know.
Just know.
Thanks, Doc. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Be still and know that he's God. When people say, I used to hear this all the time, I want to get closer to God. You can't get closer to omnipresence. You know what you already have and what you already are. That just speaks of, I'm going to try harder to get closer to God. That doesn't work. You know something, and you know that you know it. What's that? Which thing? Ro was just saying, just receiving so much confirmation today, more than she could even articulate. That's why when I'm talking, some things I don't even stop and think if they make sense, because if I overthink it, I'll talk myself out of saying it. But I just know when it feels right to say something. Like, what does that mean, peace is behind your eyes? I don't know. that just seemed like that needed to be said, or come up out of your body and dance in the light. That's a very abstract idea. There's something about, getting out of the restraints of the physical. And it doesn't mean you're dying. It means that you have the ability to rule over your own spirit, You checking your throat? I speak healing to your throat. I know you had a little issue with that last night. While we're in this meditative state, just let your body receive it. And all the physical and emotional stuff that you've been through, just that you are restored, not depleted. When you give and give and give and give and give more than you're getting back, it catches up with you. Just send some energy. Those of you standing around, just put your hand on him. I don't want you to pray. I want you just to touch him and give him some energy. Give him some love. Those of you who are empathetic, if you know who you are, pull some of that pain out. This may be too personal, but I took my parents to Dr. Selah this week. My dad was having some sciatica, and she said, "Do you need she said, "You come in and get an adjustment." I said, "Okay." And I was having a hard time last week. The last couple of weeks have been challenging. And she literally said, it's like, I feel like I'm pulling black ribbons out of you. And she said, I pull it out and I send it into the abyss. And that is, I know that sounds out there, but that is what it felt like. And when I thought, okay, well, I feel relief, and there's some things you don't need to, there's nothing to talk about because there's just some inevitabilities of life that you're having to get your bearings on, but sometimes they do, it takes you a minute to get your footing. And sometimes it's a word like that. I thought about it all day after she said that. I thought, wow, she pulled that out of me. Does that make sense? No, I don't want to ask if it makes sense. It doesn't need to make sense. What's that? Right. Exactly. But you connect with it. It resonates with you. There's some things that resonate with you that you don't necessarily understand. They just resonate with you. It's like that, something about what you just said felt right. I love sometimes when somebody on Facebook somebody posts something and somebody will say, "Oh, this post has given me life." I love when somebody says that some words are giving you life. That's a great compliment when somebody says, "These words are giving me life." And anyway, what y'all feeling? Anybody need it? Is it okay if we dedicate a month to this? Because I think doing it, and the week that Chelsea's not here, we'll just do it the whole time. And I'm just curious to see what will happen if we just keep doing it. I mean, I'm going to talk. Obviously, you can't shut me up, but it's because I'm wanting to guide you into it. I don't want it to be a lost opportunity, and it's probably. Denise, I'm sure you lead it. I don't know there's a right way to lead a meditation. We all do things differently. She said, because she's a meditation teacher. She said it's not a one-size-fits-all. And I like to kind of tap into the prophetic a little bit and just speak those words. It's good. I'm glad you were here today. I feel your energy. It's awesome to be in a room full of people that aren't contentious with you. Do you know what I mean? There's so much tribalism and polarization and so much division. It's just very healthy to be in a room full of people that might not agree on every tiny thing, but for the most part, you're on the same page, and you definitely agree that you love each other. And that you don't even realize, nothing against streaming, and especially those of you that are out of town, it's great that you have it. But there is something about it's not just about sitting under the teaching, it's connecting with some other people that you don't even realize how much you pick up just from their energy, you know? And so that's good. Good. Well, whatever happened in meditation today, we call it sealed. And everybody agreed with that? Please remain standing, and we'll hit this. And and if you got something today, write
Contributing
about it.
to Metron is quick and easy.
I love
Simply text the amount you would like to give to
on my blog.
404-620-5044. And now you can give anytime by texting this number. You will then receive a one-time registration form that links your phone number and opens your account at SimpleGive.
Good to see
Complete
you.
the form, and you will then receive a successful registration and donation page. For additional information on your account, visit bishandthenow.com and click the Support tab. Then, My Online Donation.
If you have a check,
When you contribute to Metron, you're also supporting the charity
Make it
or organization
JSM.
of the month.
Dan will be back there to receive it.
Thank you for your investment in Metron.
If you have cash, pay it forward. Felicia, when people tell you goodbye, do they go, bye, Felicia? Do you hear that a lot? You must hear it. Where did that come from? Who was the original Felicia of Bye, Felicia? Why, Felicia was a character in Friday? And what, she got kicked out or something? I don't remember that. I saw Friday, but I don't remember. She was a little what? Little crackhead. Oh, okay. See, I don't remember that. Honestly, I've seen Fridays a couple of times, but I don't remember that. I didn't know that's where they could. See, we have meditated and I have learned something. And you're like, oh, this is so funny. I've never heard this before. What year did that movie come out? Too funny. Too funny. What? Oh, that's next week? We spring forward. And it's just an hour. All right. I love you very much. If you got something out of today, write about it so I can use it. It's very encouraging to me when I know that it connected with you in some way. I love you very, very, very much. Peace.